Caitlin Clark is no stranger to headlines. With her electric style of play and ability to pull off the impossible on the court, the Iowa star has become a household name in college basketball. But this time, the buzz isn't just about her deep threes or mind-bending assists. It's about money, lots of it. A $40 million partnership with Adidas has just been announced, marking a monumental deal that speaks volumes about both Clark's influence and Adidas' strategy. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. This is big, massive, actually, not just for Clark, who's set to see her profile rise to new heights, but for Adidas, who's betting big on her ability to connect with a younger, energetic audience. Let's face it, there's a reason Clark is everywhere these days. Her on-court charisma and off-court relatability make her the perfect face for a brand looking to capture the hearts and wallets of the next generation of basketball fans. She's more than just a player, she's a phenomenon. Clark has never been shy about her ambitions, and she plays with a chip on her shoulder that makes her impossible to ignore. But it's her authenticity that has made this deal make sense. There's nothing contrived about the way she carries herself. Whether she's draining 30-footers or cracking a joke in a post-game interview, everything feels effortless. Adidas recognized this early on, and now they've locked her into a deal that shows they're all in. The move is part of a broader strategy for Adidas, who has seen its competitors dominate the basketball shoe market in recent years. By securing a partnership with Clark, Adidas isn't just getting an athlete. They're getting a brand ambassador with serious influence. And not just any influence, either. Clark's following stretches beyond basketball purists. She's a social media star, an icon in the making, and now she's the centerpiece of a partnership that could reshape the landscape of women's sports marketing. For Clark, the partnership is about more than just shoes and apparel. Sure, she'll have her own signature line, and yes, her face will be plastered on billboards and commercials. But this deal also solidifies her role as a trailblazer for women's sports. In a space traditionally dominated by men, she's breaking barriers, and not in some superficial look at what she's doing kind of way. She's genuinely pushing boundaries, bringing women's basketball closer to the mainstream with every no-look pass and buzzer beater. The $40 million price tag on this deal is eye-catching, but it's not just the money that makes this so significant. It's what that figure represents. For far too long, female athletes have had to fight for even a fraction of the recognition and compensation their male counterparts receive. This partnership signals a shift. Clark is being paid what she's worth, and Adidas is acknowledging that her marketability is on par with anyone else in the game, man or woman. This also isn't just about selling basketball shoes. Adidas is leaning into Clark's personality, the one that fans have fallen in love with. There's a certain charm to the way she carries herself. Whether she's trash-talking opponents or breaking out into laughter with her teammates, Clark has that rare ability to be both fierce and fun at the same time. That balance is exactly what makes her so appealing to brands like Adidas. They're not just selling sneakers, they're selling the Caitlin Clark experience, and they know people are buying. From Clark's perspective, this partnership seems almost too good to be true. But if you followed her career at all, you know she's been building towards something like this for years. She's always played with a confidence that borders on audacious, and that swagger has served her well. When you combine that with the fact that she's a walking highlight reel, it's no wonder Adidas wanted to lock her down. Clark has spent years dazzling fans and frustrating defenders, and now Adidas wants to ride that wave right along with her. But let's not forget that this partnership isn't just about Clark's ability to score points or hit game winners. It's about how she connects with people. Adidas understands that Clark's influence goes beyond basketball courts and sneaker stores. She's a role model, someone young athletes look up to not just because of her skills, but because of her resilience, work ethic, and sheer love for the game. That's the kind of athlete Adidas wants representing them. And in Caitlin Clark, they've found the perfect fit. The timing of this deal couldn't be better, either. Women's sports are gaining more attention than ever before, and Clark is at the forefront of that movement. She's part of a new wave of athletes who are proving that women's sports are just as exciting, competitive, and marketable as their male counterparts. This partnership with Adidas only further amplifies that message. It's a loud, clear statement that women like Caitlin Clark are the future of sports, and they deserve to be treated and paid accordingly. Adidas is smart. They see where things are heading, and they want to be ahead of the curve. Signing Caitlin Clark is their way of planting a flag and saying, "This is who we believe in." They're not just betting on her skills as a player. They're betting on her ability to change the game off the court, too. And if history is any indication, that's a pretty safe bet. Clark's journey to this point has been nothing short of impressive. Hailing from Iowa, she quickly made a name for herself in high school with her ability to light up scoreboards. But it wasn't just the numbers that stood out. It was the way she played the game, fearless, fast, and with a flair for the dramatic. By the time she hit the college scene, it was clear she was a star in the making. And now, just a few years later, she's at the center of a deal that puts her in a league of her own. What's remarkable about Clark is how grounded she remains, even with all this success. She's quick to smile, quicker to crack a joke, and seems to genuinely enjoy the ride she's on. In a world where athletes can sometimes feel robotic or overly polished, Clark is refreshingly real. That authenticity has made her a fan favorite, and it's no doubt one of the reasons Adidas wanted to work with her. After all, it's hard not to root for someone who plays with so much joy. Adidas is banking on that joy translating into dollars. They're betting that the same energy Clark brings to the court will resonate with their customers. And given Clark's track record, that seems like a pretty good bet. She's a proven winner, and now she has the financial backing to prove it. Of course, the pressure will be on for both Clark and Adidas to make this partnership work. A $40 million deal comes with expectations, and everyone involved knows that. But if anyone is up for the challenge, it's Caitlin Clark. She's been defying expectations her whole life. This is just the next step in what has already been a remarkable journey. For Adidas, this partnership represents a shift in strategy. They're looking to the future, and Caitlin Clark is the face of that future. She's young, she's dynamic, and she has the kind of crossover appeal that brands dream of. Adidas isn't just trying to sell shoes, they're trying to build a brand around Clark. And with her star power, that shouldn't be too difficult. The significance of Caitlin Clark's partnership with Adidas extends far beyond the immediate excitement of the announcement. It's a step forward in the evolution of both sports marketing and women's athletics. The partnership brings to light the broader societal shifts that are finally seeing women's sports being treated with a level of seriousness and investment that is long overdue. With $40 million on the table, it signals to other brands, athletes, and audiences that the playing field is starting to even out. This deal is a symbol of changing times, as women's sports carve out a rightful place in mainstream sports culture, and Clark is leading that charge. When you look at how the sports apparel industry has traditionally operated, there's been an unmistakable gap in the support and promotion of female athletes compared to their male counterparts. While male athletes have long been the face of multi-million-dollar deals and their own signature lines, female athletes often found themselves sidelined or undersold. The Caitlin Clark-Adidas partnership, though, disrupts this trend in a profound way. The magnitude of the deal is no longer a token gesture toward equality. It's real money, real investment, and real belief in her value as a professional athlete and a marketable star. At its core, this deal between Clark and Adidas is a powerful statement about value. Clark's talent, charisma, and crossover appeal have redefined what it means to be a star in college sports. And Adidas has not only recognized that, they put their money where their mouth is. But this deal isn't just about business. It's about recognition. Clark is receiving what's arguably been a long time coming for top-tier female athletes, a contract that reflects her worth, her impact, and her role as a game-changer. The landscape of women's sports has often been discussed in terms of potential or growth, but Clark's deal removes those future-oriented buzzwords and acknowledges the present. It's no longer about what women's sports could be, it's about what they are. Clark isn't just some up-and-coming talent. She's a star right now, at the height of her college career, and Adidas knows that waiting any longer to back her would have been a missed opportunity. And this move by Adidas isn't happening in a vacuum. Women's sports have been growing steadily in visibility, viewership, and fan engagement for years now. From the WNBA's increasing popularity to the U.S. women's national soccer team dominating headlines, it's clear that fans want more. More games, more highlights, and yes, more stars like Caitlin Clark to rally behind. In partnering with her, Adidas is wisely aligning itself with an athlete who represents this burgeoning new era for women's sports. Clark isn't just part of the conversation, she's a leading voice in it. What's especially interesting about this deal is the timing. With name, image, and likeness, NIL, deals now allowed for college athletes, brands have a rare opportunity to get in on the ground floor with college stars like Clark. These deals are no longer reserved for professional athletes. The rules have changed and Clark is reaping the benefits. Adidas, in this case, is making a smart move by partnering with a college athlete who is already drawing massive attention. Clark's popularity will only continue to rise as she transitions into the professional ranks, and Adidas is positioning itself perfectly to ride that wave with her. This $40 million deal also speaks to the idea of branding in sports. Clark isn't just an athlete anymore, she's a brand unto herself. Her partnership with Adidas isn't just about the shoes she'll wear on the court or the gear she'll promote. It's about building a narrative, a personal brand that resonates with fans on and off the court. Adidas sees Clark not just as a player, but as a symbol of empowerment, determination, and perhaps most importantly, relatability. Her story, her persona, and her attitude resonate with a wide demographic, and Adidas is tapping into that emotional connection between Clark and her fans. Clark's star power isn't just a matter of basketball skill, though her ability to drop triple-doubles on any given night certainly helps. It's also about her persona. She's fun, she's competitive, and she's approachable in a way that makes fans feel like they're a part of her journey. That's the kind of energy Adidas is looking to harness. Clark's blend of talent and charisma makes her the ideal ambassador for the brand, especially in a time when consumers are more connected to athletes and their personal lives than ever before. Social media has blurred the lines between athlete and influencer, and Clark is walking that line perfectly. Of course, with the spotlight comes responsibility. This deal places Clark in a position of power, but it also comes with high expectations. Adidas is investing in her not just for what she's done, but for what she will continue to do. The partnership hinges on the idea that Clark's success is sustainable, and that her appeal will only grow as her career progresses. For Clark, that means continuing to perform at the highest level, but it also means being mindful of the platform she now occupies. But if you followed Clark's career, you know that pressure isn't something that phases her. She's been handling high expectations her whole life, from the time she was a standout in high school to her rise as one of the best college players in the country. This deal doesn't change who she is, it just amplifies the stage she's performing on. Clark has the personality and confidence to thrive under this new spotlight. Adidas clearly believes in her ability to deliver, and if history is any indicator, she's going to live up to the hype. Another layer to this deal is how it highlights the changing landscape of sports endorsements. Traditionally, endorsements have been dominated by male athletes, especially in basketball, where names like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant have become synonymous with massive shoe deals and billion-dollar brand empires. Clark's deal is a sign that female athletes are now beginning to receive that same kind of attention. It's not just about incremental progress anymore, it's about equal footing. Clark isn't just breaking into a market that's been closed off to female athletes, she's kicking the door wide open. This deal will have ripple effects beyond just basketball. It's likely to inspire a new wave of endorsements for other female athletes, both in college and at the professional level. Brands are paying attention, and they're seeing the value in aligning themselves with powerful, influential women like Clark. This partnership could pave the way for more multi-million-dollar deals for female athletes across all sports. In a way, Clark is doing for women's sports what athletes like Serena Williams, Simone Biles, and Megan Rapinoe have done before her, redefining the game and reshaping how the world views female athletes. There's also an undeniable cultural impact tied to this deal. Clark's partnership with Adidas transcends the boundaries of basketball and enters the realm of pop culture. She's not just an athlete, she's becoming a cultural icon. With this deal, Clark is now in a position to influence not only the way people think about women's sports but also the way they think about athletes in general. She's part of a new generation that isn't content with being pigeonholed into one role. She's an athlete, a role model, a brand, and now, a voice in the broader cultural conversation surrounding sports and gender equality. Adidas, for its part, has always been a brand that prides itself on being forward-thinking. This partnership with Clark is in line with that ethos. Adidas isn't just chasing trends, they're trying to set them. By aligning themselves with a star like Clark, they're positioning their brand as one that's progressive and in tune with the changing dynamics of sports culture. This partnership is about more than selling shoes or apparel. It's about aligning with an athlete who embodies the values of hard work, resilience, and authenticity. What's fascinating about this moment is how it could set a new precedent for college athletes. With NIL deals now in full swing, the door is wide open for other athletes to follow in Clark's footsteps. She's showing that it's possible to build a lucrative brand while still in college, something that was unthinkable just a few years ago. Her success will likely inspire other athletes to explore their own opportunities for partnerships and endorsements, further shifting the landscape of college sports. The implications of this deal also extend to the NCAA. Clark's partnership with Adidas could push the organization to further evolve its stance on NIL deals and the role of athletes in the business of college sports. With deals of this magnitude becoming more common, the NCAA will need to rethink how it supports and regulates its athletes. Clark's deal is just one of many to come, and the organization will need to keep pace with the rapidly changing landscape if it wants to remain relevant. At the heart of it all, though, is Caitlin Clark herself. She's the reason this deal matters. Her ability to capture the attention of fans and brands alike is what has made this partnership possible. And if there's one thing we know about Clark, it's that she's just getting started. This deal with Adidas is only the beginning of what will likely be a long and prosperous career, both on and off the court. Clark's rise to fame has been meteoric, but it hasn't been without hard work. She's earned every bit of recognition she's received, from her dominant performances on the court to her growing influence off of it. This Adidas partnership is a reflection of that hard work and the belief that Clark isn't just a great player. She's a transformational one. And now, with Adidas in her corner, the sky is truly the limit. The possibilities for Caitlin Clark and her partnership with Adidas are vast, and the ripple effects of this deal will be felt across multiple sectors. The future isn't just bright for Clark on the court. It's a whole new chapter in her off-court career as well. For Adidas, this isn't simply a transactional deal aimed at short-term gains. It's about playing the long game, with Clark representing a bridge between sports, culture, and business, creating a unique opportunity for both parties to capitalize on the evolving landscape of athlete branding. One of the key aspects that will be interesting to watch unfold is how Adidas and Clark approach the storytelling behind the brand partnership. It won't just be about plastering Clark's face on advertisements. Consumers, especially younger audiences, crave narratives that they can connect with. Adidas is likely to build a campaign around Clark's journey, the underdog story, her Iowa roots, the rise to stardom, and her relentless drive. Tapping into these narratives will allow Adidas to engage with audiences on a deeper level, transcending simple product endorsements. This deal also opens the door for Caitlin Clark to step into new roles, beyond just being an athlete and a brand ambassador. The modern athlete is no longer confined to the sports arena. They are entrepreneurs, investors, and innovators. With $40 million attached to her name, Clark now has the financial power and influence to explore ventures outside of basketball. Whether that means launching her own product line, investing in startups, or even advocating for causes she's passionate about, Clark's voice in business is only going to get louder. She has a platform, and now more than ever, she has the resources to expand her influence. The potential for Clark to impact fashion and style also shouldn't be overlooked. While she may not be traditionally viewed as a fashion icon, the nature of athlete endorsements in recent years has shown that even those who aren't directly associated with fashion can leave a lasting impression on trends. Look at Michael Jordan and his transition from a basketball player to a global fashion figure with the Jordan brand, or Serena Williams, who has successfully blended her sports career with fashion. Clark's laid-back, authentic style is something that could resonate deeply with younger audiences, allowing Adidas to further diversify its brand reach. Additionally, Clark's deal is a benchmark in the broader conversation about gender equality in sports endorsements. Historically, female athletes have struggled to secure deals on par with their male counterparts. Clark's massive deal with Adidas challenges this paradigm, showing that female athletes can, and should, be marketed and compensated at the same level as male athletes. The success of this partnership could spur other brands to follow suit, leading to even more groundbreaking endorsement deals for women in sports. Finally, there's the community aspect. Caitlin Clark's connection to her home state of Iowa and her grassroots approach to the game of basketball are vital components of her identity. Adidas will likely incorporate this into their marketing strategy, appealing to fans not just nationally but regionally. Community engagement, particularly in the Midwest, where Clark is beloved, will be a major part of the rollout. With this deal, Clark has the chance to give back to her community in ways that go beyond basketball camps or charity events. It's an opportunity to become a true hometown hero, someone who can inspire the next generation of athletes from Iowa and beyond. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.